I love driving around, listening to NPR. Glad the weather's warmed up a little.
Israel said today's protests were smaller than previous ones, with about
Ohioans are terrible drivers, though.
Says some threw firebombs and rocks. More than 30 Palestinians have been killed in weeks of protests against Israel.
So I found that driving around listening to NPR, National Public Radio, BBC America and all that stuff, I found there's a question going around a lot. That's, where do people get their news from? And the problem is that it's not just where people get their news. It's what they define as news. What they find to be newsworthy. And there's some people that it's newsworthy what the Crown Prince of England is doing, and how the Prince of England and his wedding to an American actress is going to go, and who all is going to show up, and who gives a shit about what outfit they're going to wear, or who made it, or any of that. There are people that's newsworthy. There are other people that look at that stuff as ridiculous, inane bullshit that serves no purpose. Now, that's not the kind of shit people are talking about when they talk about fake news. Tabloid shit. Like, it's not enough that the prince and an American actress are getting married. If people were to start adding stories to it, like, they're getting married, but it's because she's secretly an alien and he's trying to make, they're making a marriage of policy so that they can link the English crown to the alien crown and have a bigger, and that's the sort of shit that gets spread around as fake news. And there's no such thing as fake news. There's just propaganda. There's propaganda, there's deceptions, there's lies. There is no such thing as fake news. News is facts. News is real stuff happening around the world around you. The level of importance that you ascribe to the news is the difference between one bit of news and the other. If a thing is a lie, it is not fake news, it is simply fake. Can't be news if it's fake.
Thank you for joining us again. Marty, Fred Rogers had such a common general presence on television.
I'm really big on using the analogy of humans are a lot like dogs. We're highly susceptible to repetitive reinforcement, which means it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. We have a whole lot of attention-seeking behaviors that repetitious reinforcement of behavior really plays into. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative reinforcement. A swat on the ass is just as effective a reinforcement as a congratulations or an attaboy. And like it or not, psychological studies prove that the attention itself is what helps with the reinforcement. Which, sure, if you can use positive as opposed to negative, absolutely, run with it. I would posit that there are points where negative reinforcement is just as necessary as positive. That sometimes a swat on the ass is just as much a requirement as being stood in a corner or being given a good grade. You need to know consequences for your actions. And while some people might respond that, oh, you should never beat your child, well, no, stupid, you shouldn't. But these are the same people that do what all humans do. We're creatures of extremes.
What was it about that was important?
We don't know how to sit in the middle. Moderation is, it's not our guy, it's not our game.
So the idea of him coming in,
That's why everybody's so hip to trying to find a cure for alcoholism, to cure addiction, because we suck at moderation. at self-regulation. We're terrible at that as a species. Some of our greatest stories of history are about us not being able to self-govern. The Bolshevik Revolution is entirely the story of how the Russian people could not self-regulate. I mean, sure, there's a little bit more to the story. It has a bit more length than that, but that's the essential story in a nutshell. The people were unhappy about who was in charge. They got rid of the people in charge and discovered that they were no fucking better at running the system than the people who had been in charge. And in many ways, they were worse at running the system. They fucked up many parts of it and ended up wishing they had the fucking royalty back. Humans are terrible at that kind of thing. We don't know how to moderate. We really don't. And that's the thing about extremes. We're comfortable with an all or nothing mentality. Because if it's all one way or all another way, then we don't have to worry about figuring out the nuances of that situation. We can just worry about it's all this thing.
Michael Long, in your book about Fred Rogers, you write about his religious faith and his background. He was an ordained minister.
Alright, time to go deliver the food to the humans.
Actually